on this one could produce some hail and strong wind gusts as well. And then if you're watching us in Upper Lafourche up through St. Charles Parish, some pretty intense storms. These are mainly heavy rainmakers with lots of lightning and thunder. It's not necessarily producing any large hail, but this is producing quite a bit of rainfall for areas from Raceland up 90, Des Allemands, Luling, and this is what's going to be heading into the city in the next probably 20 to 30 minutes or so. So some pretty rowdy storms going on tonight. Some of them are producing some quarter to $half size hail. Hopefully all the cars were already protected as these blew in, and a few of these are also producing those strong wind gusts, upwards of about 60 to 65 miles per hour down here, especially in Lower Terrebonne. For our friends down here in Chauvin, Cocodrie, could be getting a bit rough down there. Mainly a hail and wind maker. None of these have been trying to rotate, so that's the good news, but nonetheless impactful storms. If you're watching us on the North Shore, the worst is over for you. I'll give you the all clear from severe weather, although you still got some rain. Maybe that'll add to a nice sleep here with some of those showers continuing for the next couple of hours or so. But your severe weather threat, for the most part, is over, as you've got some of that rain cooled air that's coming in and helps stabilize some things. But down here south of the lake, still getting some intense thunderstorms, and I can put this in motion and you can see the movement of this. These intense storms continue to move east southeast. So the outflow boundary of these storms, see this thin green line right here, that line right there, that's the outflow boundary. So that's that rain cooled air coming from the storms from the north. As that comes in, that's going to start to undercut some of these storms and bring down the intensity. While the rain's going to continue, it'll help bring down some of the intensity. That line is also going to produce some gusty winds, could gust 35 to 40 miles an hour with that. So overall, I think a lot of people may be waking up with these loud storms rolling through. Someone did message and say, I was hearing some pings on my window. It was hail, and that was over in on the West Bank in Gretna, Old Gretna. Also had some hail reported in Algiers from one of my coworkers. So we are seeing some of that hail, but the big storms right now are going to be in Lower Terrebonne and getting into Lower Lafourche. So once again, if you're watching us from Chauvin, Cocodrie, and really now getting past Cocodrie, but Chauvin, Montague, Cutoff, Galliano, Leeville, Golden Meadow, the Lower Lafourche areas are what's up next for some of these big storms. Lots of lightning and thunder, that's a given, but could produce some of that strong or hail and strong wind gusts to 65 miles per hour. So as that comes inbound, get ready for it. You still have a couple minutes if you do want to get the car under the carport or in the under the house. I know a lot of houses down here are raised. Not a bad idea, because this could produce some quarter to $half size hail, and that's getting on up there where you can start to get some dings in the cars. And then also the risk for maybe some of those strong wind gusts. Once again, if you're just joining us here, it is 2:27. We've been tracking a few severe thunderstorm warnings. While the worst of the hail and gusty winds are past New Orleans, it is breezy out there at the moment. I can hear some wind gust outside rattling one of our garage doors. But if you are in Belle Chase, if you are in eastern St. Bernard, if you're really anywhere in St. Bernard, still getting it pretty good. You can see lots of those purples popping up there, indicating there could be some quarter-size hail. Also very heavy rainfall. As you can see, really that line just kind of explodes there over portions of St. Bernard Parish. I do want to take a look at something really quick, because I can hear that wind blowing out there. I want to see what the winds are doing over parts of the metro. We did have a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust reported on the causeway as this outflow boundary pushed through. You see we're gusting to 40 at the lakefront. Another very windy time at the lakefront. This afternoon we gusted to 60 at the lakefront, so here we go again, 28 at MSY. Our sites across the city really haven't updated yet, but it looks like we're gusting to 31 in Harahan. That's as that outflow boundary came on through. So nothing tornadic with this, it's just gusty winds and some hail are the main concerns with what we're watching right now. Taking a look at our winds across a larger part of the area, you can see we're gusting to 28 in Houma, 39 at the lakefront, 25 in Slidell. And notice these are northerly winds, so these northerly winds mean that cooler, more stable air is going to start to come in very quickly, and then eventually this is going to clear all the rainfall out. So the severe weather threat in the next hour or so will be, for the most part, done, and hopefully you can get a little bit of rest, although the rain may continue a little bit longer. So just recapping here, I know a lot of people are getting up here, maybe watching us on our app. We just sent a push out for that. Severe thunderstorm warnings, mainly down here in the Bayou parishes. Big time storm with a ton of lightning sitting south of Houma and down into lower Terrebonne and lower Lafourche. I just want to query and see how much lightning we are getting with this. I mean, just a massive amount of lightning. Of course, it's not going to query it for me. Let's see what we got here. Well, it's not going to query it. Anyways, we are seeing hundreds of lightning strikes. You can see there, each one of those little specks is a lightning strike, and I guarantee you some of those are loud as they do strike. So be inside. These producing gusty winds. They are producing some of that hail as well, and that's going to linger for probably another 30 minutes or so down in those areas. You can see the larger picture here. This is our cool front coming on in. It is going to bring in some nice weather tomorrow. So festivals tomorrow, Ponchatoula, and here in the French Quarter. It's going to be good for it. It's going to be a little cooler and breezy in the low 70s, but it'll be nice. So once this clears on out in the next, I say probably 2 hours or so, we'll get all the rainfall out of here. Things will vastly improve, but once this initial line passes through, the severe weather threat is going to decrease. And right now it looks like that severe weather threat is going to be highest near our coastal areas down here in lower Terrebonne, lower Lafourche, where all those bright pinks and purples are. That is your wind, that is your hail problems at the moment. And then we've got another sort of individual cell that's moving through eastern St. Bernard. This is going to quickly get into Lake Borgne and no longer really impact much in the way of a population fairly soon. So the severe weather threat over the city now much lower, although the rain, it's not stopping anytime soon. So some heavy downpours will continue across the city, more than likely for the next 30 minutes or so, and then we'll start to transition to a light to moderate rain, maybe for an hour or so. So the number of lightning strikes, I can get it here now, 1,000, over 1,000, nearly 1,100 lightning strikes in this individual storm down here in the Bayou parishes down towards Chauvin and getting into lower Lafourche. So that's where our most intense part of the storm is right now. So for now, it's 2:31. We're tracking severe storms. Most are just producing wind gust and some hail. The tornado threat with all this is extremely low. I haven't seen anything that's really tried to wrap up or rotate. That's great news. But I know some people are waking up thinking, what in the world is going on with all the lightning, thunder, hail, and gusty winds? This is going to linger for another hour or so. And then once we get into the probably 3:30, 4 a.m. time frame, we'll still have some showers, but that severe weather threat quickly wrapping up, and then tomorrow we're looking much better. That's going to do it for this severe weather update. Of course, if any other updates come on in, we'll cut in here on Channel 4, but for now, let's toss you back to our regular programming.